So the last time that you did talk to us, this was sort of before all the Steely Dan stuff had happened.
I think it was.
It was a year ago. It was about a year ago.
It's been a big year.
It's been a big year. You were talking at the time about how Atlanta has been sort of an obstacle in some ways, and then in other ways has allowed you to move freely and experiment and work with a lot of different artists, and maybe in different styles that you wouldn't have done if you'd been sort of just picked up and plugged into your, whatever other people decided your scene was in New York or LA or something like that.
Sounds like something I would say, more or less.
Well, that was my interpretation of it. I wondered if a year on you had a sort of a different perspective on your place in the city.
I think so. Cause a lot has happened in the last year. It's been a wild and crazy year for me, and really like the best of my life so far, in spite of, the world falling apart. But
has it?
Sounds like it. As far as humanity at large is concerned, it's been a pretty crummy year, but I've been doing really good. Atlanta, like, you're looking to kind of know what my temperature is on just being an Atlanta artist specifically right now?
Yeah, and if it's changed since the fact that you've had such a wild and crazy year while still being here.
It's changed a little bit. I'm not sure if this should be on the record or not. Fuck it. I've been thinking about moving to LA recently. And it's still very much just sort of a larva of an idea in my mind, but I'm starting to feel like I ought to do it, partly because as much as I adore Atlanta and all my connections here, I kind of want to just like totally rip everything apart. Not in a mean way, just like I feel like for me, maybe it's a good time to just like shred all of my like preconceived ways of doing things and just try something completely freaky and different, because I often find that to be like creatively motivating. And I've been in Atlanta pretty much without interruptions since the very beginning of my 20s. I'm 30 now. And I don't know, I feel like starting a new chapter. But I definitely will always feel that I'm Atlanta's baby, and I will always feel like I belong to it.
More so than Chicago.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I never really got to know Chicago, and I feel a connection to like that part of Illinois and that part of the Midwest, just because I sort of get to say that I'm from there, which is technically true, but I don't have a whole lot of like important personal history there that's connected to the place, although I can do a really great Midwestern accent. But now people say I sound Southern, which I'm cool with too. I don't know.
So Atlanta feels like home.
Atlanta feels like home for sure. Yeah, in a big way.
It's Athens, it's not Atlanta, but doing some reading about your style and seeing Tropicalia, like I immediately think of the Creature Comforts beer, the IPA that they brew up in Athens.
Yeah. That's a good one. I tried to order one of those last night, but they'd run out. So that's a good sign.
Well, that was the question, was have you had the beer and do you like it and do you drink IPAs?
Sure, it's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's fine. I don't know. It doesn't taste like Brazil to me. I don't think it's supposed to.
No, it's an American style IPA for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What does taste like Brazil to you?
You gotta get a caipirinha for that. It's like a cachaça rum drink. Mm. It's like very Brazilian.
You've talked about the excitement of sort of when the CDs arrive and opening up the work that's arrived. I have not seen your music on vinyl, but is it available on vinyl anywhere?
Nope.
Do you have any plans for future or back catalog?
So I had really super badly wanted to put the new record out on vinyl. The new record is still in the works. It's done, and we've been trying to figure out an appropriate release strategy for it for ages, and it's kind of a huge thorn in my side. It's been like the greatest challenge of my adult music career is getting this record out. But I think we have our label lined up and are finally getting it to happen. But it's going to be under modest circumstances, at least as far as what I wanted for the record, and I'm okay with that right now because I think it is a good enough record that it will create its own momentum and speak for itself. But I don't expect us to have the resources to do vinyl anytime soon. I would have to raise the money through things like Kickstarter, and I'm not in the mood to do that right now. I'm not really in the mood to draw on my fans for that kind of support right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, we've done it before and it worked amazingly well, and I think I don't know, it's not time for me to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
So probably not vinyl, but there is a new album coming out, and I think it might be April. We're looking towards April.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a label announced that you're going to release it to yet?
We have a label that is like, we're in kind of like preparatory talks with them right now, so I'm not going to drop that name just yet, but it's coming soon, assuming everything goes along smoothly, and I'm pretty sure it will.
And did the process take a long time just because you were waiting to find the right label and or the right circumstances to put it out?
That, and we have been through like circumstance after circumstance where we had a deal coming together and then it fell apart just due to like poor terms, just over and over, and like, or just like starting to put together a strategy with an investor or a company or whatever, all kinds of different ways of doing it, and then just like eventually someone will stop answering your emails for no reason.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the music industry right now. That is exactly like how it appears to be for everyone all the time now. It's just like a very long game, unless you're one of those preternaturally adaptable artists who truly fends for yourself. Someone like, I've been really admiring Brock Scott from Little Tybee lately, just because he is so smart about how to adapt to the way things are now, and he likes to keep the momentum and the power and the decisions like within the band and within the artist structure, and doesn't rely on people. And I'm like, teach me. So yeah, I feel like it's been moving awfully slow for me because I've been trying to get a label to put out the record, and I almost wish I could tell myself, 5 years ago, screw it, just put it out by yourself. It doesn't matter. Just like get a Patreon account or something like that. And like, yeah, it's slowed me down. But when it comes out, I hope everyone will feel that it was worth it, because I do. It's a really cool record. I'm really proud of it.
Well, I can't wait for April. I know that Veloso is a hero of yours.
Totally.
And in addition to being a musician and a writer, he was a political activist in the 60s. And earlier you sort of said, you see the world falling apart. A lot of your music is in languages that I don't understand, so I don't know what you're talking about. But it doesn't strike me as particularly political music. I wonder where you see yourself as a person and as an artist, and I think a lot of artists are asking themselves this question, of where you fit into the world and the political climate, and how much you're an escape from it or a voice in it, and just where that all makes you feel.
That's a good question. Maybe I haven't really done my due diligence of like considering this question for myself. I definitely try to stay politically aware, but I think maybe consciously, maybe not, I try not to have it pollute my music because it is so dark and ugly. And I'm so mad at the United States right now. And not all of its inhabitants, obviously, but I'm very mad at its operating structures. And I wonder if I could be a useful political voice, but it would be very awkward for me to try and fill that role, I think. My music to me is way more just about life and its raw essence, and to me that is the opposite of politics. Maybe it's better that I focus on just expressing that and letting that fuel people through these super fucked up times. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that battle is not for me.
Well, isn't that it's either an Orwell quote or some Orwell commentary that in times of falsehoods, telling any truth is a political statement?
I've heard something to that
Essentially,
effect, yeah.
Like even if it's just talking about relationships or
Mhm.
something like that.
Yeah, and a lot of what I try to do with music is to evoke feelings, and I want to evoke feelings of like nostalgia and romance and lust for life and that kind of a vibe. And I feel like if you can actually make people feel stuff, it can be super healing, and I don't know, maybe give you a sense of like, hey, there are more important things on the table than what some douchebags in Congress are up to. So I feel like maybe that's the best I can do to help out.
Sure. I think it helps. Well, aside from potentially moving to LA and hopefully this album dropping in April, what else have you got going on in your life?
I'm about to do a whole bunch of tour dates, and this will be exciting for me because I'm doing a bunch of solo touring through the rest of this month, starting on the 10th, I think. But I'm about to announce those tour dates probably tomorrow on my Facebook and other channels. So I'm doing a bunch of just like solo piddling around in my little car, and I'll be going all around the South, a bunch of Florida, and a bunch of like Alabama, Mississippi, New Orleans. Some stuff in early February too, but up northwards. And I'm trying to do a whole lot more of that kind of thing through 2018. I finally am associated with a booking agent, thank God, which is a huge help. So trying to just like keep up the momentum after the Donald Fagen tour, because that was a giant boon for me. So I got a bunch of touring coming up. Hopefully the record will come out in April. I am doing the South by Southwest thing. Never done that before. It's gonna be nuts. And then album out, and then hopefully everybody freaks out and showers me with praise and accolade. And then I'll be like, peace, y'all, and move to LA. I don't know.
And act like you don't know nobody.
Right. Like, come visit me. Maybe I'll buy you dinner. That is a vague projection into the next 6 months.
Yeah.
But who knows?
But lots of time on the road.
Lots of time on the road is the main feature of that chunk of time. Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's all I got.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much.